Here in our tiny, tiny country, a half hour is pretty far. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Could you go away, please? Go away. Doe maar 3 vrije. Ja. Oh, wat is dit? Cool. Cool. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vlogmas day 6. I want to keep going on the doors today. However, there is one thing that has become a little bit more important. You have heard me complain about filming at the end of the day when the sun is gone and things get a little bit dark here in the house. Actually, it is the case right now as well, which is why I can only film here because I am standing very close to a bright window. But it's getting a little annoying, and I realized that usually when I make my videos, obviously I have a whole week for one video and I can just film until 3 or 4 o'clock and then I will continue filming the next day. Now with Vlogmas, I can't do that. I have to do everything in one day. But also, if I didn't have that during the week, I could go on with my project longer, and sometimes that's just better. Sometimes that's easier. Sometimes I don't want to stop my project when I'm in the middle of it. I want to keep going. So we are actually going to go out right now to a camera store and look at some lenses. I want to get some advice from the people that work there on what kind of lens would be best for my camera, and then maybe we can fix this issue once and for all and I can just stop complaining about it. I'm just going to very quickly eat a little bit of breakfast and then we're gonna go out. It's about a half-hour drive. We just called them to ask if it was okay that I would bring my own camera and try some lenses out, and they said it was fine. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on a little road trip. It's funny, it's a half-hour drive. I realized that in America, a half hour is really not that far. But here in our tiny, tiny country, a half hour is pretty far. It's a pretty far drive. Hello. Is there something you wanted? Is something you're interested in? Boop. You want the carrot? Ga zitten. You're a silly dog. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Obviously, I had to immediately test out my pretty new lens. So I made some shots here in the kitchen. It is a especially dark day today. It's very rainy and it is now a little over 1 p.m. It's just, it has not been light enough here today to properly film. So imagine my excitement when I set up my new lens here, my new camera setup, and everything looks amazing. This shot that you're seeing right now, I have done a similar shot a couple of days ago with my old lens, but I have to do a lot of adjustments in post-production, like color changes and contrast, and then there is a lot of noise in the background, a lot of little specks in all of the shots. That is just incredibly frustrating. This looks amazing. So I always kind of felt like I was constantly racing the light, right? And I would be very dependent on the weather as well, because on a very sunny day, I would be able to film all the way up to like 4:30 or something. But on a rainy and dark day like this, I can't even properly film at 1 p.m. You know, being in the Netherlands and the weather changing 40 times a day, that is very, very frustrating. This new lens seems to completely fix that problem. And as a bonus, I'm getting better image quality than I did with my other lens. So, which is so incredibly exciting. You know that I love making beautiful shots, right? I mean, my videos are usually kind of a combination of practical shots where I'm doing a DIY project, filming me painting a door, for example, and some beautiful landscape shots or a plant or the sun that comes into the window a certain way, and I really love capturing those images. That is like my absolute favorite thing to do. Now I expect to be able to do that even better than before. And right now I am actually not having the perfect light setup because obviously this is my ugly table lamp. So at the store, they also advised me to do more with lighting, which I understand. And I understand that that is something that really helps. It's just, I don't really want to do that. I have a really big like daylight lamp, this thing. I mean, that means I have to haul that thing around all day. I change the camera angle every couple of minutes, so I'm constantly also having to change the light then. This light's also very, very harsh. It's not very pretty. It doesn't make for very beautiful shots. And also, it just makes it look a little bit unnatural. So right now, it is dark in the house, and that's fine. And that is actually a little bit cozy. I want to capture that coziness. So you're getting a yellow light from here, which is probably against all of the real filmography and photography rules, but this is a real light, you know, this is my real life. This is our real home. So I just want to capture everything as it is. And I don't want to be hauling a gigantic lamp around that always has a cord that is too short. I'm always running into that problem. Preferably, I don't do anything with artificial lighting unless I really, really have to. Anyway, all this image here is looking absolutely amazing. I am very, very, very excited. And now I'm gonna have to get back to the doors. So let's do that. So this morning, I already did another layer on the pieces where I figured I would have to do more than 2 layers anyway. So I just touched them up a little bit so that they could dry while we were out. I think it's a good idea to start with doing an extra layer of paint on everything. I can also do the bit what I talked about yesterday where I do all of the edges and then leave the doors open a little bit. Then after that, or while that is drying, I can figure out what to do about the mullions. That's gonna be fun. It's going to change the entire look of the doors.
And now it's time to have a merry holiday. What a feeling when it's time for Christmas. Let's sing a carol and we'll bring it here. I guess that spring and summer, they're all fine. But I've been waiting for the season that's mine. So let it come. Yeah, let it come.
Could you go away, please? Go away. Nah. Spiders. We clearly never opened that door. We always have that one open, but not that one. Now there's spiders everywhere.
I can see the snowflakes fall. I can hear the sleigh bells call. They're saying it's time to have a merry holiday. What a feeling, now it's time for Christmas. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. It's beginning to look like all my wishes are coming true. That's why I cheer. I've been busy decking the halls.
I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. I need to warn you guys, okay, this is not going to be perfect. It's going to be a very much DIY solution. There are definitely better ways to do this, but I don't have the tools and I don't have the patience, and I just wanna change the look of the door. So I'm just gonna do a very, very simple solution and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do 2 horizontal pieces, and then the vertical one is going to be like divided into, you'll see, but I'm gonna be as precise as I can. So I got 2 pieces of trim, I think it is officially. It is 2 centimeters wide and about 9 millimeters thick, which sadly was a little bit too thin. The window is recessed about 12 millimeters into the door, so ideally it would have been 12 millimeters thick. I couldn't find that, so 9 millimeters it is. What I did to remedy this is a little bit weird, and we will have to see all the way in the end if I really get away with this. But I got a glue which is meant for glass, so it's transparent, and because it works kind of like caulk, I can put this stuff onto the strips of wood pretty thick. I can do thick dollops of glue, if you will. That way I could press them onto the window and then gently pull them off a little bit to make them at the same level as the wood of the door. Then I taped it into place so that it would cure in the right position. Now, this does of course mean that there is a little bit of space between the backside of the wood pieces and the glass of the door. So at the moment, the idea is to fill those gaps up with caulk, kind of the way that you would if they were 6 individual windows, just caulk along all of the edges. And then hopefully from the inside at least, it will all look as natural as possible. From the outside, it will look absolutely horrendous, but that is a project for a later date. I think that is looking pretty good. What do you think? I don't dare to take off the tape just yet. You know, it's gonna have to dry for quite a while, and it doesn't actually say on the bottle how long it has to dry. So I'm thinking I should probably leave it overnight, and I won't really want to do anything else until I've seen what it looks like without the tape. So what I will do tomorrow when everything is dry, I'm going to fill up all of the little spaces that are between the new pieces and the door, just to like make it all as smooth as I can. And then I'm gonna paint over it. For full effect, to make it extra realistic, I should do a bead of caulk around everything. I think that would make it look really realistic. So it is now 7 o'clock. It's a little late. I usually start dinner way earlier, but I can film longer now. I mean, I'm still very, very excited about that. Oh, microwave is yelling. We are having a very simple, creamy pasta today. Just a spaghetti, because I made it late, so I'm doing a simple dinner. I just remembered way in the beginning, when I started my YouTube channel, I actually began just filming on my iPhone. And although the quality on your iPhone is pretty good during the day, it is not very good as soon as it gets a little darker. So I had already had the issue then that the quality of my videos was just not as good when it became later in the day, which eventually led me to buy a proper camera. That was 4 years ago, and now I'm running into the same issue just in a different way, and so it was definitely time to upgrade. I think I can properly say after so many years that this is a hobby that will stick. It's worth investing in your hobbies. Where are my, I apparently cannot do 2 things at the same time. I just need an onion. I've been looking for an onion for way too long. I know where they are. I mean, I also have onion in the fridge, so I might not have to do any cutting actually. My easy meal just got even easier. I would love to hear what your hobbies are. I have a lot of them, as you know. I mean, the whole filming thing and creating videos and editing the videos is also my hobby. I love knitting. My hobbies kind of change over time. I really enjoyed creating things with my laser cutter, as you may have seen. Now I've kind of put that on the back burner. Now I'm knitting a lot. Right now, during Vlogmas, creating videos is my only hobby. I don't really have time for anything else. And also, I think one of these days I'm just going to create a knitting video as part of the Vlogmas series. So I'm just gonna be knitting all day. and just chatting with you and showing you what I do. I would really love to hear if that's something that you would like to see. I'd still have to finish that sweater that I was working on. I really would like to finish that sweater because I would like to start a new one. That is how it goes in my brain. I have barely started and I've already got a new pattern that I'd really love to make. In fact, that would make a beautiful Christmas sweater. There is no way I would get that done in time. So that is very unrealistic. But still, it would be nice for Christmas next year, right? It doesn't matter what I'm knitting as long as I'm knitting something. A while ago, I made a whole chicken and I saved the bones to make a broth from it. I hadn't done that before. Well, I had done that before, but it didn't really turn out that time. This time it was really, really good. It turned out really beautifully. So I have a couple of these jars with chicken stock, beautiful chicken stock. It smells really good. I love that I made that myself. Usually with any pasta that I make, I will put fresh basil in there because that just elevates the recipe so much. You cannot get the fresh basil flavor when you get dried basil. As I said earlier this week, I don't have any basil anymore. I only have parsley now. So I'm gonna be using dried basil this one time. So this is very, very simple and I don't even really have a recipe for it. I just saute some onions and some garlic, tomato in it from a can because it's supposed to be easy, some chicken stock, and then while that is going, like in that, I will cook the spaghetti. So I don't have to cook the spaghetti separately. I just put them in the same pot and it will cook in the sauce, really. Okay, if you're Italian, look away. I never do this, okay, only with this dish, just so that it cooks quicker, like in the sauce. I'm sorry. I'm gonna need a little bit more water. And we're just gonna let that cook for 15 minutes or so. I'll just check on it every now and then, see if the pasta is ready. Hi.
Hi. Zo lieve doen is het geworden, hè? Ja.
Ja.
Altijd mooi, hè?
Ja, hè?